Hey Whiskers, Kimonie here, the voice behind Golden Whisk. And today in my kitchen, I'll be showing you guys how I made these delicious, fluffy pizza rolls. So let's do this. Okay guys, so you already know that all the ingredients and the measurements will be listed down below in the description box. So I'm just starting off with half of my flour. Remember guys, half of the flour that you'll need. Okay guys, so if the measurements seem off, they aren't. I actually tripled this recipe because it was for dinner and I had company at home. I'm adding my yeast. I am using instant yeast here. If you're using active dry yeast, then you need to proof this with your wet ingredients. Okay, so after adding my yeast, I'm just going to give this a quick whisk because I'm about to add some salt and I don't want my salt to come in direct contact with my yeast. Alright, so now we're adding some sugar so that the yeast has something to feed on directly. Give it a little energy and stuff. That would be my salt. And this is completely optional, of course. I'm adding some complete seasoning. A friend of mine did this and did it with chicken seasoning and said it works. So I guess if you don't have complete seasoning, any other seasoning would work as well. Of course, this is completely optional, but I believe that the dough tastes better when you add a little seasoning to it, or in this case, quite a lot. But yeah, give it a try and let me know what you think. Okay, so now I have all my liquid ingredients in this one measuring cup and I'm just adding all of it. So in this I have some milk, some butter and some eggs, and of course it's warm. Ensure that you don't mix your eggs in this too soon because that will end up cooking your eggs, so you'll end up with scrambled eggs. If you want to, you can add the eggs separately. Now don't be alarmed if this seems very liquidy. Remember that we only added half of the amount of flour that we'll need for this recipe in the beginning. So just give this a mix until you don't see any streaks of flour or any streaks of liquid, and you should have a liquidy mess. Okay guys, so remember that every flour is different and will absorb liquid differently. And so if you do this and you realize that, oh, my dough is a little bit sticky, and it's not supposed to be sticky, it's supposed to be soft but not sticky, then all you need to do is to add a little flour, a tablespoon at a time, and mix it in. If it's a little too dry or tough, then just add a little water or milk, a tablespoon at a time, and mix. So that's pretty much it for that. Okay guys, so the dough came together. This is what it should look like. So it should be almost sticky, but not sticky, just really soft. Now I'm just going to spray some baking spray over top of this dough and also try and get some under the bottom of the dough, which would line the bowl itself, because I'm going to leave this to proof. And when this expands, I don't want to have to scrape it out of the pan because it got stuck. So that's what I'm doing. You can use vegetable oil or some butter, whichever one, as long as it's greased, that's fine. So that's what I'm doing here. And as you can see, the dough is not sticking to the spatula, even though it seems really, really soft. So that's the aim. That's me testing to see if it's sticking to the spatula or not. Okay, so at this point our dough is pretty much done. I'm just going to cover it with my foil. You can also use cling or anything else that you can use to prevent outside conditions from affecting the dough. This is what it looked like an hour later, so leave it for an hour and allow it to proof. So I'm just flouring my work surface, which is clean and sanitized, of course. Ensure that you have no residue from anything else on the counter because your dough will pick this up. See how easy that was to turn out? So ensure that your bowl was greased and all that. That's me checking to see if I'm still videoing because I did miss a few steps. Okay, so remember that we're starting off with a really soft and airy dough. So on your work surface, which is floured, just roll this dough over a few times, give it a few knead it onto itself, and yeah, the dough will still be really soft, but it will be less messy or more manageable. That's a better way to put it. So I'm just ensuring that I have enough flour on my work surface so that when I start to roll, my dough will not stick. I started out using my hand to get a level surface, and then I'm just rolling with my rolling pin. Okay, so you need to roll this thinner than you think you need because we'll leave this for a second proof. That's the footage that I said was missing. I didn't add when I added the sauce, but I think you know how to add sauce, so just add your sauce. And I'm using chicken here, barbecue chicken that was shredded because I didn't get a chance to buy pepperoni. So use whatever toppings you like on your pizza. Yeah, then I'm just going to add my cheese, and that's pretty much it for the assembly part. Okay, so now it's time to roll our dough because this is pizza roll. If you want to bake it as is, then you can and just do 3 flat pizzas, but I didn't want to. So start rolling from the end that is closest to you and go away from you. Try to get this as tight as possible because we don't want our pizza to unravel while it's baking. And that's my brother chatting me out and asking me how long the pizza will take for done. Okay, so when I'm almost at the end, I will not roll over on the ends. I will actually pull the ends over to me. That way I can see where the ends are and I can seal this roll. So all I do to seal is to pinch the ends to whatever was on the roll before, as you can see here from this motion. And yeah, just pinch it together. It will seal it so that you don't have your filling all over the place when you're baking, and so that your dough won't unravel. Do this from one end to the next. Okay, so right here I'm just going through to ensure that my entire roll is of even thickness throughout, and I'm using some clean thread that was washed. You can also use floss to slice my dough. Try to get this as even as possible. I'm doing 2 inches each, but that's really up to you. The benefit of using floss or thread is so that you'll get some even and defined swirls. So this is what it looks like. I topped the top of some of them with some Parmesan and some white cheddar. This is completely optional as well. And now I'm just going to leave it for another 15 minutes to proof. Okay, so my oven was preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and they were baked for 20 minutes. Okay guys, so this is actually the day after, and I just want to show like how soft this is still. Like, not to bash any company or whatever, but whenever I buy pizza outside, like from one of them pizza places there, you can't eat the pizza dough after like once a couple hours, but sometimes I feel like that I push it. Either way, this is the day after. Can you see? Don't mind my crusty hand, but can you see how soft this actually is? Like, they both are like really, really soft. Can you see those layers? Oh my god! Either way. Okay guys, so this is the finished product. I hope you like this video. If you do, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Until next week, stay golden.